We go. Luis, good morning. Thanks a lot for your
Afternoon.
time. I'm so happy to have you here with us, with me today, and to discuss, an interesting technological development in marketing and design. And let me start with a brief introduction. Uh, Louis started as a Adobe apps user, and then he grew up to Adobe Certified Instructor, and also to application development engineer, to enterprise system architect. And during the past years, he became like a high level expert in automating creative production and also marketing workflow. And we are going to discuss these specific things today, like growing automation in creative production for marketing purposes. And especially, I'd love to draw our attention to this new disruptive technology, AI, and how marketing industry actually has applied it to its needs. So, hello.
Hey, how are you? Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the talk up. It's quite a bit of experience there, but yeah, this is going to be fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure. So, Luis, let's start, with the question about creative automation and specifically about AI application. And why I'd love to discuss this because, recently I've seen some data showing that marketing industry is probably the leader in applying, this new disruptive technology. And of course, probably marketers applied it much earlier in their, media buying algorithms, but nobody spoke out that, okay, this is actually machine learning and, some machine learning optimization. But now, even, when it's becoming so, widely spread across different industries, and especially with, different application of ChatGPT. So data proves that marketing industry is by far the leader. But marketing industry consists of two actually parts. First, media buying, and then creative production. And I would like to discuss specifically, applications of machine learning or like AI itself into creative production. And since, you were involved in building some creative automation, and maybe you can tell us a little bit how it's all started back then, maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago, and how it's evolving right now. So yeah, please share with us.
Sure. So it's interesting because from a creative production standpoint, AI has really found its way down kind of two paths. So there's the creative centric kind of version of AI, which is the elegant and flashy thing that everyone's been seeing with generative kind of creative, with video, images, and all this stuff. But there's also the more powerful, in my opinion, the data side of marketing and creative automation. The data side is something that's existed forever, and it's more tangible. And there's a lot of, I wouldn't say misinformation, but there's a lot of kind of vagueness when it comes to AI. It's a blanket conversation. It's a blanket term. People use it at a very, very high level to encompass a lot of things. But when you really get down to it, AI relies on data, massive amounts of data. Years ago, we could leverage data either from design specifications or design algorithms to kind of create, okay, if this design and this design were blended together, you do a bunch of math, run some math, and then have an output, right? 2 + 2 would be 4. Boom, you're done. So the AI that's leveraging kind of that same data, those same principles, is being sent a lot more data. So there's years and years of this aggregated data in many places, many databases. There's customer databases, there's design databases, there's all of this information that's sitting up on these servers. And now what AI is enabling for companies is a better way to kind of compile that data, aggregate that data, and come out with various weighted values in terms of outputs that give you different results, ideally intelligent results. They're not always favorable though, but we'll get there. So from a programmatic perspective, when it came from like automation for production, there wasn't necessarily a level of AI. AI has this like autonomous kind of a feel to it. It was quite literally people sitting there and deciding, okay, when this happens and this happens, or when this occurs and that occurs, the answer is going to be this. And you could do that in multiple layers to give you different and derive multiple outcomes, multiple outputs, but essentially the user still have that control. If you go out and read most of the AI documentation, you'd be led to believe that AI has a mind of its own and it makes that up on the fly. And yeah, I'm going to put this out there publicly and just let you know that, let everyone know that that's a complete falsehood. The AI needs to be programmed. There is learned behaviors over time, and all that is that when you basically focus the output in terms of the direction you want the output or the result to land. And there's many examples of that, but essentially it's not sentient. We're not at the point yet where the computer's aware of itself and it feels like because it's Thursday, purple wins. We're not there yet. If it ever gives you an answer that purple wins, it's probably because the people that developed the programming and input the logic really likes purple. So we're not there just yet. We probably don't want to be there yet either, because there's a lot to be learned for now. But foundationally speaking, the people that were working on the programmatic solutions to scale and automation have a really solid understanding of how AI is evolving, because it all starts in data. And it's all about data, and then it's all about the desired outputs and how you get there. From a creative standpoint, the stuff that you see relative to AI today is a lot of kind of generative images where you're just spawning off these creatives based on textual inputs, or it's text content, right? Where people are prompting ChatGPT or various other AI engines to produce text, and the text could be of a specific language or it could be of a specific context. What marketing's trying to do now is really hone that a little bit more in order to accommodate better personalization, which goes back to data again. So if you have data about a particular client, you could better leverage it to go ahead and create a more favorable or a more aligned output to what that person is expecting, or would resonate with that person, so that they could get a more favorable outcome in terms of engagement. So yeah, it's running the gamut, but it's still, I think, relatively early on. I don't know that anyone can quantifiably say that AI is winning for them as a corporation, but certainly we're on the brink of something pretty big. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And what I've heard from your answer is essentially that, okay, there is a lack of brand safety when we are thinking of algorithms building your creative. And it's probably not only about how cool it looks, because it's about composition, but and composition as well, but also about being accurate with what kind of copy it may add, or what, like, not to kind of break some laws, because we are, it's kind of dangerous. So I hear you. And like, saying all this, so do you think it's not going to happen that algorithm will eliminate human touch at all? Like, could it be the case, or you think that for big brands anyway, there will be like group of designers who kind of make the final touch and approve, and all these kind of things?
Yeah, I think when it comes to brand standards, there are so many potential data points, and companies have so many different things that they hold more important than others. Like, different companies have different things that are more important. Some is colors, some is logos, some is photography. We're all over the place in terms of like what really matters from a brand perspective. That ultimately, I don't think the AI is going to be able to just run headlessly and always result in like the perfect ad. It's just not going to happen. I think it'll get refined and can get better over time, depending on the technology that's adopted. But no matter what, you still need those people that are steering the ship a little bit in order to get to teach. And you'll hear a lot of this, like machine learning and teaching, where the computers, you can hone the model to give you the more desired output that aligns to your brand. Some solutions are going to cater to that more than others. If you get something off the shelf that may not allow that at all, in which case you're getting the vanilla answer that they've already pre-boxed and given to you. So when companies start looking at AI solutions, I put that in air quotes because a solution is a very broad and open term. You have to understand what they're providing to you as their interpretation of the truth. I use the example 2 and 2 is 4. This is true, but 2 cats and 2 dogs is 2 what? 2 animals? 2 carnivores? 2 quadrupeds? Like, which one of those 3 answers is more valuable to your company? So we have to be really kind of aware of the context that we want to use AI, but also the results as it relates to either our brands or our use case or our companies, whatever that might be. So there's a lot of variables there, for sure.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And let's move another direction a little bit, because creative people. This is another data I've seen not long ago, that probably designers are most resistant to picking up innovations, because to be honest, in this field, okay, we have now I would say 2 like major leaders, like Adobe Suite, and people got used to it, and it's been a powerful solution for over the last, I don't know, 20-30 years. And all designers who study this field, they start with these basics. And now it's also like Figma, which delivered some revolution of real-time collaboration in the browser. So there are 2 things. And if we remember how Figma was accepted when they just make it public, designers didn't like it, and now they're big fans. So saying all this, I can see that designers are like most resistant. And maybe we can, you used to work a lot with designers, and you used to help them to automate their production workflow at scale, like from different angles. So could you probably speak a little bit about like defensibility of design, like designer role, even bearing in mind the growing application of this like AI automation and scaling?
Right. So this is a pretty personal question. I've got relatives who are illustrators who've been prey to some of the latest AI technology and some nefarious things. So pretty sensitive to kind of how this all works relative and what this all means relative to designers. So from a designer perspective, it's good to be informed. It's also good to be open-minded, but cautiously aware. I don't think we're at a point where all designers are now losing their jobs across the globe because we don't need designers anymore. I don't think that's the truth at all. What I do think is that some designers are taking it upon themselves to just kind of see what's out there. And the reason they're doing that is 2 things. Number 1 is usually it's curiosity. But number 2 is to just kind of really level set and understand how far off it is or what it's really delivering, what it's really doing, relative to how well they perceive and what they bring to the table in terms of value as an experienced designer who's either working for themselves or working for a brand or working for a company. That is invaluable, regardless to how many renditions of some creative piece, an AI could spit out. The human touch, the human creative mind can't be replaced, period, end subject. That said, there was a recent report where Beijing actually authored a copyright out to, I think it was like a 3D persona or something like that, which sets a really bad precedent relative to creative inspiration, ideation, and all this stuff, because I say it's a bad precedent because essentially AI can't innovate. It can't be inspired. It's basically taking pieces of information that are already out there on the web, compiling it, averaging it out, and producing something. If that happened today in the music world, if you take a couple of bars of a song or various songs and stick them all together and put that out there as an album, you're probably going to fall prey to a copyright infringement suit and then have to deal with those repercussions. Inevitably, I think real ethical AI has to come forth, and people have to push that forward so that designers are protected for what they're producing as being inspired as individuals, inspired design, as opposed to copied pieces of inspiration from somebody else that a computer can compile and blend and put out there. So again, we'll see where that goes. But as a designer, there are those who are just completely just afraid of it and just don't know what it is. It's kind of like that giant spider in the corner. They'll just run away from it, but it's not that. We're not there yet. And there's the designers that are a little bit more open-minded to kind of just, let's see what it is, and let's see where it's lacking, because the positive is it's never going to replace you and the value that you bring as a designer and all your years of practice and all your institutional knowledge and everything that you bring to the table as a human. That said, you could certainly help bolster the AI to help you peel apart primary, secondary colors from image backgrounds, do the minutiae to handle some of the tedious tasks that designers are dealt with or dealing with when it comes to solving problems of scale and just volume of output. So there's opportunities for designers to leverage the technology. They just have to kind of help find it, find out what those opportunities are, and then focus it to their own benefit. So it's good, it is bad, but it's not all bad.
Yeah, sounds good. Luis, and I've recently signed up to a newsletter by one creative agency just accidentally. And I totally love I would call it, pieces of art by one of the co-founders of this agency. So he shares, like I believe in every newsletter, he shares his vision on like one famous brand, like latest ad. So he creates, as far as I understand, he doesn't sell, these ideas to big brands. He just, play with this creativity and like present it to his audience. And, those ideas are just mind blowing. And I started to think, okay, even though like this modern technology can probably help you generate some cool, I don't know, images or videos, but in order to write this prompt, you have to be creative. And to be creative, still you need, this experience like Felius and Vince and, years of learnings. So yeah, maybe some part of your work can be kind of taken by, algorithms. But anyway, to write this prompt, you have to be an expert. And probably, the creative designer who works in the field has been working in the field for many years,
Right.
he should certainly write much, much better prompt comparing,
Right.
for instance, to myself. I'm not a designer. So I would say, yeah, let's maybe we are doing a short interview, so probably let's stop on this really positive note. And the whole idea behind that is, yeah, I'd love to kind of make designers, listen and understand that, nothing's scary and we do need them. And we are just trying to probably make their life easier with some modern technology. And yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so thank you very much. And I believe it's not, the last time we are getting together to discuss like new things. And I wish you a great day over there. And thank
You
you
too.
very much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.